Garang's hands were sweating, despite the cool air that flowed from the air conditioning vent behind his head. He was more at home in the African bush than here in the boardroom of a major petroleum corporation, not to mention that the Petrocon building was situated in downtown Khartoum, the heart of enemy territory, and 1,000 miles from his adopted home in South Sudan. It had been years since the civil war between Sudan and South Sudan had officially ended, but deep wounds heal slowly. Garang's job was now to keep his tribal chief safe, and surrounded by hostile Sudanese forces, it was no wonder his palms were sweating. He wiped them against his olive-drab combat fatigues and returned his attention to the two men at the negotiating table. "This is a good deal. We both know it. You would be a fool not to agree." The Sudanese oil minister addressed the chief sitting opposite him. Garang had noticed that every time the man finished a sentence, he licked his lips, almost as if he could taste the crude oil he coveted so desperately. The chief leaned forward and pushed a pile of legal documents back toward the fat politician. "You want my people to sign their lands across to your Chinese masters for only 4%? We are not simpletons who can be swayed with a handful of beads, Omar. We are a proud people. The Dinka lands belong to the Dinka, and that is final." Omar slapped his thick hands against the table, upsetting a glass of water and spilling its contents across the table's surface. "You either take this deal, or we take the lands from you." "Your threats are idle," the chief replied calmly. "You couldn't take our lands in 2 decades of civil war, and—" The politician slammed his hands against the table again. "Look around you, old man." He gestured toward the floor-to-ceiling glass windows that overlooked the bustling city. From 36 floors up, people looked like ants. "You're a long way from your grass huts. Times have changed, and your shitty little tribe has been left behind. Now I have the power. I have the money. This is a new era, and your people will not survive unless they submit. Sign the papers, and I promise you will spend your final years a wealthy man." He paused, squinting across at Garang. "What about you, boy? Do you want your people to live in squalor, or do you want to be a part of this?" Garang swallowed, wiping his hands against his pants as he rallied the courage to speak. Before he opened his mouth, his chief spoke for him. "There is no Dinka who will sign your worthless papers, Omar." The elder was dressed like Garang, olive fatigues tucked into battered combat boots. He was lean, dark skin drawn and leathery, a veteran African warrior. "We will fight to the last man to keep our land." Omar remained seated. "Yes, you'll get your fight soon enough. Before too long, I will have more tanks and artillery to pound your pathetic tribe into the dust."